Once upon a time there lived a brother and sister named Steve and Katie. One day while playing in the woods behind their house, they stumbled upon a mysterious cave. Steve wanted to explore inside but Katie was hesitant. "I don't think we should go in there," said Katie. "Who knows what could be lurking inside?" Steve laughed. "Don't be silly. It's just a cave." Still, Katie held back as Steve ventured into the rock tunnel. It was pitch black inside but Steve pulled out a flashlight to light the way. The cave was damp and chilly and their footsteps echoed off the stone walls. As they went deeper, the tunnel narrowed until they had to crouch down to fit. Suddenly, Steve stopped short. "Did you hear that?" he whispered. A low rumbling growl emanated from the darkness up ahead. Katie's eyes widened. "I think we should go back." But before they could turn around, two glowing red eyes appeared in the blackness. Steve and Katie clutched each other in terror as a massive creature emerged from the shadows. It was a real live dragon. The beast glared down at them, smoke pouring from its nostrils. Steve and Katie trembled, certain they were about to be eaten. But to their surprise, the dragon spoke. "Who dares disturb my slumber?" it boomed. Steve gulped. "Please don't eat us," he squeaked. "We didn't mean to wake you up. We were just exploring." The dragon snorted. "Foolish children. This is my domain. All who enter must face my wrath." He reared back as if preparing to blast them with fire. Katie quickly shouted, "Wait. Maybe we can help each other." The dragon paused. "You? Help me? How?" Katie thought fast. "We could bring you food or treasure." The dragon narrowed his eyes. "I have no need for either. Now be gone before I lose my patience." Steve spoke up. "But don't you ever get lonely down here? We could come keep you company sometimes." The dragon looked surprised. In truth, he was very lonely. After years of napping in this cave, he had no one to talk to. The children seemed unafraid of him now. Perhaps he could make them his friends. "Very well," rumbled the dragon. "In return for keeping me company, I shall spare your lives." Steve and Katie were relieved. From then on, they visited the cave often. The three of them would have long chats and dragon would tell them ancient secrets. He even let them ride on his back as he soared through the sky. The children loved their new friend. But one day something bad happened. Katie noticed the dragon was nursing his foot and asked what was wrong. "It's my tooth," the dragon moaned. "It pains me greatly." Steve peered into the dragon's massive mouth and saw a rotten tooth in the back. "You need to have that removed," said Steve. But who can help a dragon with a toothache? There were no dentists big enough or brave enough to operate on a fire-breathing beast. But the children knew they had to do something to help their friend. Then Katie had an idea. She and Steve would yank out the bad tooth themselves. The dragon was unsure but eventually agreed to let them try. Katie got a pair of pliers from her dad's toolbox while Steve gathered some rope. The dragon lay down and opened wide while the children tied the rope around the rotten tooth. "On the count of 3, said Steve. 1, 2, 3. They pulled with all their might on the rope. The dragon thrashed and howled in pain. Katie thought they were only making it worse and were about to give up when suddenly, pop! The tooth came flying out. The dragon let out a cry of relief. "My toothache is gone. You have saved me." In gratitude, the dragon revealed his biggest secret: he could grant wishes. He allowed each child one wish as thanks for their help. Steve wished for a treehouse so he and Katie would have their own special place to play. The dragon waved his claw, and a marvelous treehouse appeared. Next it was Katie's turn. She thought carefully then said, "I wish for all the lost puppies and kittens in the world to find safe and happy homes." The dragon smiled and replied, "Your wish is granted." Suddenly, the local animal shelter called Saying Families had shown up out of the blue to adopt every single orphan pet. The children hugged the dragon tightly. From that day forward, the three friends lived happily ever after.